There is no doubt in my mind that this shot was Blake Lively's idea. Like, make sure you get my shoes, Justin. We can do one more take. Remember, my character has money, so she can afford the $600 shoes. Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni situation just continues to get worse and worse and worse for one party in particular, and that party would be Blake Lively. Justin Baldoni's lawyer was not joking when he went on Megyn Kelly and said, we're going to put all the evidence out there. We have all the receipts. We are putting them out there. And practically every single day, I feel like we get more and more and more evidence that is just stacking up against Blake Lively, and it's not looking good. While initially Blake Lively filed a complaint, which is pretty much a precursor to an actual lawsuit, since then, Justin Baldoni sort of like threw up his hands and said, fine, you know what? If this is the path that you want to take, I've had enough, and started to defend himself against Blake Lively. To me, it honestly seems like this man put up with Blake, being her own costume designer. Then she wanted to be her own director. Then she wanted to edit the movie. Then she wanted to have her own edit of the movie. Then she turned to the cast as well as the author of the book, who you had a relationship with before Blake Lively had a relationship with. She turned all those people against him. And then she took away this sort of vision that you had for this movie, took it over, ended up putting out her version of the film, didn't want Justin at the red carpet event. She pretty much bulldozed this entire production. And that wasn't enough for her. She had to take down this man's career. And finally, Justin is like, no, I'm not going to take any more. Look, when it comes to male feminists, I particularly don't really like them. I'm not looking at this from he stands up for women, he's a male feminist. I'm not even considering all of that. I'm not even considering, Justin's brand until it pertains to the case, right? Like, I don't really care about any of that. I'm looking at it more so as this is something wrong that is being done to someone deliberately who is using and abusing their position of power to take someone else down. And not only are they doing that, they're using the fact that they are a woman in a position of power and using Me Too and Believe All Women against this man. And I'm sorry, but all of the evidence that has been put out there publicly is stacked against this accuser, and that accuser being Blake Lively. She is accusing Justin of doing all of these horrible things. Practically everything that has come out is proving that that's just not the case. And one of the latest things to be released is this video. If you guys remember when I was going over Blake Lively's lawsuit, if you haven't watched that video, I do go into her lawsuit in detail. I will link it somewhere up here. I've also gone into Justin Baldoni's lawsuit against the New York Times. I'll link that somewhere for you guys as well, so you guys can check that out. I have not yet posted a video going into Justin Baldoni's lawsuit against Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, because that one is significantly longer and it is going to take me a little bit more time to edit that video. But if you guys remember, in Blake Lively's lawsuit, on page 19, it says, on another occasion, Mr. Baldoni and Miss Lively were filming a slow dance scene for montage in which no sound was recorded. Mr. Baldoni chose to let the camera roll and have them perform the scene, but did not act in character as Ryle. Instead, he spoke to Miss Lively out of character at himself. At one point, he leaned forward and slowly dragged his lips from her ear down to her neck and said, "It smells so good." None of this was remotely in character or based on any dialogue in the script, and nothing needed to be said because, again, there was no sound. Mr. Baldoni was caressing Miss Lively with his mouth in a way that had nothing to do with their roles. When Miss Lively later objected to this behavior, Miss Baldoni's response, I think it meant to say Mr. Baldoni, but whatever. Mr. Baldoni's response was, "I'm not even attracted to you." So that was Blake Lively's allegation. Here's the video. This is the scene that was in Blake Lively's lawsuit, a slow dance scene for a montage. When you watch this, you'll notice that they're both speaking out of character, and Blake Lively's the one that sort of initiates the conversation out of character because she starts to direct Justin Baldoni and suggest ideas for this montage, which honestly proves that, she took over and started, directing and wanted to put her own input into it. So that's another thing. It just proves that, yeah, she would direct scenes or direct Justin or make suggestions, just like what was listed in Justin Baldoni's lawsuit. All right, so here's the video. At the very beginning, it says, this is the part that is in her lawsuit. Blake Lively, "I'm probably getting spray tan on you." Justin Baldoni says, "It smells good," and they laugh. This says right here, the following videos captured on May 23rd, 2023 clearly refute Miss Lively's characterization of his behavior. The scene in question was designed to show the two characters falling in love and longing to be close to one another. Both actors are clearly behaving well within the scope of the scene and with mutual respect and professionalism. These are all 3 takes filmed of the sequence. And then here's the scene. Lily and Ryle slow dance in the bar, patrons around them drinking and watching sports, completely in their own world.
Too close to the subject.
Picture recording, take
It's never meant to be comedy.
And I felt it there.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah, that's all they're supposed to do.
Ready, everyone?
It's to communicate.
Talking you at the bar, something's on the screen.
And can you give us a couple cues of like they score, just so everyone else around us is having a moment.
But is it as rambunctious as it was earlier on?
No, it's never going to be because we're in slow-mo, but just they're watching, people are watching games.
So Justin Baldoni is directing.
And playback. Background.
Okay, so apparently this music gets claimed a lot, so I'm going to have to pause.
Camera.
And here's the scene in question. They're supposed to be falling in love in this scene.
I think we have to back up.
They're filming right now, right? They're supposed to be in character. They are filming, and she says, I think we have to back up. We're not on our marks, and I think the light is behind you a little bit. Granted, this is supposed to be like a silent scene, right? This music is going on, and they're supposed to be falling in love. So they're supposed to be like looking at each other and falling in love. Like nobody's going to be hearing what they're saying.
On the marks, and I think the light is behind you.
Justin Baldoni says, it's actually a little better when it's behind me. So like he's the director. He knows the shot that he has set up.
A little better when it's behind me.
Oh, okay.
Having to pause.
If you should ever leave.
So in this scene, they're supposed to be falling in love. Justin wanted to do it just quietly. They're just looking at each other.
God only knows what I'd be without you.
I think we should be talking.
And then Blake says, I think we should be talking. I think it's more romantic. And then Justin Baldoni says, okay. So again, directing the scene. Justin Baldoni didn't want the scene that way. Initially, it was just supposed to be them looking at each other. But she's like, I think we should be talking. Justin Baldoni says, absolutely. Blake Lively says, I don't know. I think it's more romantic. Blake Lively says, I don't know. I think it's more romantic. And Justin Baldoni says, yeah, well, the whole montage is us talking. It's not just supposed to be this scene in the movie. It's supposed to be like this scene in addition to additional scenes of them talking. And I think that's why he wanted this scene to where like they're not talking, because the rest of the montage is supposed to be them talking. And then Blake Lively says, because it's like the moment you kiss, then you give them the thing that they want to see, them being the audience. Justin Baldoni says that's why almost kissing is also good. But notice they're not talking as Ryle and Lily. In Blake Lively's lawsuit, they're supposed to be in character. She says that they're in character, and Justin Baldoni was the one who spoke out of character. But Blake Lively was the first one to initiate, hey, I think we should be talking, because she's directing the scene. She's trying to direct the scene. She's trying to direct Justin Baldoni. So she is not speaking as Lily. And Justin Baldoni responds in turn. And then here, again, they're supposed to be falling in love. So all of this is pre-planned.
Can we do a score? Couple scores? While we're... Yeah, great.
So funny here. This is so hilarious because Justin Baldoni directs because he's the director. Justin Baldoni's like, can we see a score? Can you do some more scores while we're doing this? Blake Lively sees this because he's directing. And then what does she do? She ends up directing Justin. And he says, no, I know, I just got lost. And she's like, I think it's nice to talk. I think it's more romantic. Oh my goodness. I thought that was hilarious. He like broke out from what he was doing to direct because he's the director. And it's like Blake Lively almost saw this and was like, no, me too. So here she says, no, I think it's more romantic. Blake Lively says, because then you're like, what are they saying? She's speaking about the audience. And Justin Baldoni says, well, we have no issue talking most of the time.
No issue talking most of the time.
Yeah, and you're like, what are they saying?
Yeah, and Justin Baldoni says, they'll never know in slow motion. This whole thing is supposed to be in slow motion. And Blake Lively says, I must know what they're saying. Like, she's taking on the viewpoint of the audience member watching this movie. And Justin Baldoni says they're never gonna find out. Like, it's silent and it's supposed to be in slow motion. I almost wonder if he's like trying to explain to her, like, this is supposed to be in slow motion. If we start talking, it's going to be like our lips are moving in slow motion because we're talking to each other. I don't know. I just think it's really funny.
And they win!
Oh my gosh, we don't shut up.
And Emily and I have.
And Justin Baldoni says, I know you and Ryan talk all the time. And she says, oh my gosh, we don't shut up.
We don't shut up.
And Justin Baldoni says, and Emily and I have we have these moments where
We have these moments where
Staring. You just stare.
it seems here, because he brings up Ryan. He's like, I know that you and Ryan talk a lot. And she goes, we do. We don't shut up. He's trying to like tell her it's more romantic if you just stare at each other, because she keeps insisting that they talk. He goes, I know you and Ryan talk a lot. He says, and Emily and I, we have these moments where, and Blake Lively sort of like takes the piss out of him, and she's just like, you just stare at each other.
Staring.
Literally we've done it for like 5 minutes.
And Blake Lively's laughing at that, and Justin Baldoni laughs, and he's like, it's like, I think you would find it terrifying.
I think you would find it terrifying. We just literally hear each other and like
I
time.
found a sociopath.
Oh no, I found a sociopath, sort of like making fun of their romantic moments together, right? Him and his wife. She's like, that's sociopathic. Why would you just stare at each other? But I think in this moment, he's trying to explain to her, like, this is why no words, let's just stare.
And then time stops.
Yeah.
And he says, and then time stops, which is essentially what the scene is supposed to be. Time is supposed to stop for them, and the world around them is still moving, but for them, time is stopping. That's supposed to be essentially like what they're filming. I think he's trying to explain it to her, but it's not going through, because she just wants to talk. She wants to talk throughout the scene, and she's making fun of it. She's calling that sociopathic behavior.
That's just how it's been for us from the beginning.
No, we're like, oh my god, there's not enough time.
And then Blake, speaking on her and Ryan, says, no, we're like, oh my God, there's not enough time in the day to talk.
No, I think that's.
And he says, oh, I think that's cute. I think
You guys are
you guys are
really
really
I
cute.
think it's more than cute.
I think it's more than cute. That's why they say that like she's being competitive with like her relationship with Ryan and Justin and Emily, his wife, because he's saying like there's these moments where we can just stare at each other and time stops. Essentially the scene that they're filming right now. And Blake Lively is just like, no, me and Ryan like talk all the time, because she's trying to get him to talk during the scene. That's more romantic than just staring at each other. So far, I've heard him try to explain the scene by pulling from his life, compliment her and Ryan. And I've heard her try to direct the director while laughing at him and calling his relationship with his wife sociopathic. But he's supposed to be the aggressor here. Remember that. He's supposed to be the aggressor.
And then let's just do one almost like super close.
Yeah.
Can you guys frame up on the Sebastian on you? Yeah. We'll just do like our lips are right next to each other.
It's almost like I'm done with this conversation. Let's do one more.
But I think I should start talking.
Okay.
And again, she won't stop with this talking, because her way is the right way. His way is sociopathic, remember? She wants to do this take that's supposed to be in slow motion, and she wants them to be talking, because her way is better. Her way is better, remember, because she's pulling from, her and Ryan talk all the time. It's more than cute. It's better than what you're pulling from, because what you're pulling from is sociopathic in Blake Lively's eyes. But Justin Baldoni agrees. Okay, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She continues to speak for the audience, right? Because she knows that this is what the audience wants.
They want it. Don't give it to
They
them.
score.
Just
Right.
keep restraint.
Yeah.
Score.
Just do a little bit of restraint.
Not only is she doing that, but she's directing him right now. She's telling him what to do. She's telling him, and you come in this way, meaning kissing her that way, and we'll just do a little bit of restraint.
Right, come on back.
And then
Cross this way, cross this way. Take your date and cross this way.
And heads together. And she wants to be talking, so she's gonna make fun of it. She laughs. I feel so nosy. I mean, it's like just noses.
And,
noses.
and my nose is so big.
I was hoping that we could address this. It's
Not too late.
Just gotta shut down. We gotta call an insurance month and just deal with that.
Yeah.
And then,
Deal with the nose. Get a nose job.
Cut.
just kidding.
Let's start on action. Let's just do everyone celebrated. There's a game going on. On action.
This is the next take.
Yeah.
Okay.
People
Great.
passing.
On action, it'll just be celebration.
Justin Baldoni is letting them know what he wants in the scene.
They've just scored. Ready and
Well, I'm gonna
lay back.
get your head in there in a
Lay
second,
back.
and then I'll take it off. Like I'll try to kiss you, and then I'll take it off.
And then Justin Baldoni says, hold on, I'm gonna get you a hat in there, because then I'll take it off.
I'll take it off. Like I'll try to kiss you, and then I'll take it
I'll
off.
try to kiss you.
Okay.
And I'll
I know
take
you wanted
it.
the hat.
And she says, great. And he says, because I know you wanted the hat. He's giving her something else that she wanted the hat, so he's gonna get the hat in there. So far, it seems like she's getting everything she wants, including the talking.
Yeah, you know I like my hats. Who got this sticker? Good.
Is this
Yeah, no, there's no sticker.
And they score!
So he's starting off with the hat that she wanted. She wanted him to wear a hat. There it is.
As long as there are stars above.
This is the alleged thing where she feels incredibly insecure by him. He goes down, comes up, and says, am I getting beard on you today? And she laughs.
Beard on you today.
I'm probably getting sprayed.
And she says, I'm probably getting spray tan on you. And he says, it smells good.
Well, it's
And she says, well, it's not that. It's my body makeup.
not that. It's my body makeup.
What could show nothing to me? So what good would it do me?
And they win! They won!
It almost sounds like, he's gotten beard on her before. Like he has makeup in his beard and that's happened before. So he's just like, am I getting beard on you today? Like, sorry. But remember, she says throughout this whole thing, he was the one who was speaking as Justin Baldoni and not as Ryle. When this whole entire time, they both have been just talking as themselves and not in character. Her lawsuit made it sound as if she was in character and he was the one who broke character and talked as himself, Justin Baldoni, and not as Ryle. When this entire thing, everything that we've watched so far, they're both speaking outside of their characters. So for her to be like, it was only Justin Baldoni is completely and utterly false. It was not just him. They were both speaking as themselves.
And they win! They won!
All right, cut. I think we got plenty.
Yes.
He says, okay, cut. I think we got plenty. It's slow motion. She says, yes, we did.
Slow motion. It's gonna be a 17-minute reel.
Is
Oh, he said, we got plenty. What is this? Oh my God, it's the shoes.
Set and playback and background.
There is no doubt in my mind that this shot was Blake Lively's idea. Like, make sure you get my shoes, Justin. We can do one more take. Remember, my character has money, so she can afford the $600 shoes. Make sure to get the shoes. We need a shot of the shoes.
my heels being popped out of there.
She says, I feel like my heels are being cropped out of there. And he said, don't crop out her heels.
Don't crop out her heel.
This sparkle.
If you should
This sparkle, make sure you get my shoes in the shot. Seriously, I know that this was her idea. He's like, I think we got it. We're done. But she was like, no, one more take of just my shoes. I feel like throughout this entire filming, she knew what she was doing. Because Justin just said, we are finished. We got what we needed. We're good. It's going to be a 17-minute montage. We're good. For her to be like, hey, by the way, because I don't think that he cared about her shoes. This is Blake Lively's idea to just get the feet, to make sure that you get the heels. Because I'm sorry, she talked a lot about the fashion, right? During the red carpet. And a part of me thinks that the reason that this scene is even being filmed is because she knew what she was going to do later on down the line. Almost like I'm thinking ahead for when I edit this film. I'm going to make sure that my shoes are in the shot. This is so stupid. This has nothing to do with them falling in love. This is just a shot of shoes just for the sake of, hey, look at all these expensive pieces that I own. Forget about what the movie message is. It's about the fashion, you guys. That's what this is giving.
God only knows what I'd be without you.
Yes. There we go. Sorry. I'm so sorry. No, it's better.
Spinning. Here we go.
Oh my gosh, you see how excited she got when they panned down and they got her shoes in the correct shot? She was more excited that they got the shoes in the right light, in the right shot, than she was filming the actual scene Let's listen to that again.
There we go. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Now it's better.
Spinning. Here we go.
Make sure you get the sparkly heel in there, you guys. Oh, like honestly, I don't watch that and see someone taking advantage. I don't watch that and see like this man taking advantage of this woman. I can't see it. All I see is a director directing a movie and also acting in the movie, and his actress directing him and getting her own shots in there. Like that's all I see. I don't see anything wrong. They're both speaking as themselves while acting as their respective characters. It is not to the level in which she alleged in her lawsuit. He leaned forward and slowly dragged his lips from her ear down to her neck and says, "It smells good." It's so funny that in her lawsuit, it says nothing needed to be said. Well, she apparently thinks that a lot needs to be said because it's more romantic. She's the one that wanted to continue to talk and try and tell him, we need to talk. We need to talk. It's more romantic. It's more romantic if we talk, don't you think? It's more romantic. And has the audacity in her lawsuit to say nothing needed to be said because there was no sound. How fucking dare you? He was the one that was saying, we don't need to talk. It's more romantic if we do not talk. Not only that, but Blake Lively says, every frame of Raw It Ends With Us footage corroborates unwanted touching claims against Justin Baldoni. Her lawyer put out a statement, and it says Justin Baldoni and his lawyer may hope that this latest stunt will get ahead of the damaging evidence against him, but the video itself is damning. Every frame of the released footage corroborates to the letter what Miss Lively described in paragraph 48 of her complaint. We read paragraph 48, didn't we? It does not corroborate anything. If anything, it seems to me that Blake Lively is taking on the position of Justin Baldoni in that scene because he wanted it to be quiet. He didn't want dialogue in that scene, and she was the one who insisted on talking. And I didn't hear Mr. Baldoni saying, I'm not even attracted to you. I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that at all. Not only that, but I didn't hear Blake Lively objecting to that behavior in that scene. I didn't hear that either. If anything, she was directing Justin Baldoni in that scene. So for them to say every frame of the release footage corroborates to the letter what Miss Lively described in paragraph 48 of her complaint, where? And you know what? It's no wonder that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, please shut Justin Baldoni's lawyer up. Please shut him up. Anyways, you guys, that's it for me. Let me know what y'all think in those comments down below, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye, everyone.